So in this video, you will learn about how we build a direct-to-consumer eyewear business that connects seamlessly the online-offline worlds and how we respond to customer trends that we see on the horizon for the next couple of years. I'm Kilian. I'm the CEO and co-founder of View, a Swiss-based eyewear company, which we started 6 years ago, almost now. We are a direct-to-consumer eyewear company that is present now in the DACH region, mainly Germany, Austria, Switzerland, but also in the Nordics, in Sweden and Denmark. And, well, it has been quite a ride. We are working in prescription eyewear and sunglasses. And in prescription eyewear, you're talking about a huge market. I mean, the market in Europe is 30 billion alone each year in revenues. And Switzerland, for example, is 1 billion. So it's a product that is relevant for 60% of the population. So there is a huge opportunity in the size. But then you have that combined with a lot of inefficiencies in the system. I mean, the last real innovation in that market was sort of the chains coming into the market and grabbing market space. And for us, I mean, the opportunity is clearly a direct-to-consumer, meaning we are producing eyewear, we're designing eyewear, we are selling it directly to the customer. We're doing this in a combination of online and offline channels. So in the meanwhile, we have actually 48 own flagship stores. And this is really the omnichannel retail is the future and the vision of what we believe we're doing, right? So on the one hand, we're creating a direct connection to the customer. Doing that one not only enables us to understand the customer better, but also to cut the prices radically. So a pair of prescription eyewear at View costs 195 Swiss francs, including the prescription lenses. The market average price is 600 Swiss francs. But our product is manufactured in Italy, has lenses from Switzerland that have everything in there, right? So clearly there is a customer benefit out of it. In essence, there are two drivers that the customer ultimately pays. One is in the production. So in the production, there is a company called Luxottica, for example. And Luxottica, by the name, a typical customer doesn't even know. But Luxottica produces 65 million frames a year, has 500 million of customers globally. And they own brands like Ray-Ban, Oliver Peoples, Oakley. They have licenses of more than 30 brands. So there is an oligopolistic structure that is in the production of the frame. And then you have the whole distribution part where an average optician sells 1.5 frames per employee and day. And clearly imagine that one, right? 8 hours of employee time selling 1.5 frames. I mean, there's a lot of cost that is then ultimately paid by the customer, leading to the 600 Swiss francs. It's structural costs that we can take out and that we pass on. We can still make profit of a frame that has 195 Swiss francs, including the lenses. The market today is 5% online, 95% offline. So clearly this market has not taken off in the online part, and there are some drivers for it. I mean, starting with the customer. If you look at sort of yourself, right? I mean, the experience you had was probably close to a medical one. And it's your eyes, right? So, I mean, there's clearly some trust that you have to build up that you can buy prescription eyewear online. That is one factor. The other one is, ultimately, if you want to buy prescription eyewear, you will need an eyesight test, right? And this is an offline experience today, and therefore, clearly, it's another barrier for entry. The third one is, how do you try on the product? Today, we have the try at home option, so you can pick 4 frames online and we will ship it to your house. We will pay everything back and forth. And you can just have them for 4 days, and then you will decide if you want to buy one. You actually ship back all 4. And then you have to sort of give us then your details on the prescription. But still, I mean, it has that bridge of the online to offline with the box. At one point, you might want to have an online engaging experience, having it virtually on your face. It will come, but it's not perfect today, right? Another barrier, that would be 3. Initially, we started by just discovering that this omnichannel experience is really the way to go. And that was in month 4. So in month 4, we built our first flagship store in Zurich and at Grüngasse. And when we opened, it was a mix of office, we were working behind the wall, and store. And the moment we opened, 4 months in, we actually realized many people knew us and didn't really trust buying online. So it's again the barriers. But they then fully embraced it when we had our first flagship store. From there on, we built this omni-channel experience. And how I see it is, in the end, you have to think in a combination of channels, a very seamless combination. So for the customer, he should be able to start everywhere. We have people in the store that cannot decide on a frame, and then they order a tried home box in the store and buy eventually online. And the same goes that people come with a box in the store and then they buy offline. Right? So the future of retail in the omnichannel world means you have to design as a company for so many different paths that the customer can take, and they have to be view, right? View through, right? No barriers. So you have a cultural, a brand identity, you have to then make sure the paths can follow, and you have the breakage points which you want to limit. So this is like two elements of what I think is the future of retail. So I mean, there are some probably soft and some hard things that you need to get right. I mean, on the soft side is clearly the brand proposition and what you're trying to sort of then tell the customer. And this is pretty strict at View, right? I mean, we try to sort of have a clear brand identity, the communication. So ultimately, if you think about what our creative director wants, is that you don't even have to write its view. It's just by the visual language, by sort of the whole identity. That is one point, which I believe is important because it creates identification. The other one is the technical, the hard one is sort of like the competences in sort of then building a thriving online business. And there also we are still learning, right? I mean, we are definitely not at the point where I would say we are the most sophisticated online business. It's the change is so fast. So the competence has to be that A, you have experts on board and you have a scale that is critical. A couple of years ago, we didn't have the resources to sort of build a very strong online team. Right, so we are still in development phase. And then the next one is channels are changing so fast. The way you use the different marketing options are evolving continuously. And that means your competences have to evolve.
Next video, we will talk about digital commerce, customer-centric and future trends.